भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Hello everyone, we welcome you all to another episode of EdTalk at KHMS. EdTalk at KHMS is a platform where Kulachi creates young leaders who will lead the society and the country. Today, we have gathered here to focus on another SDG goal. Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. As we all know, we must ensure the availability and sustainable development of water and sanitation for all. The goal has 8 targets to be achieved by at least the year 2030. To know more about this and our role, I would like to invite Rashima ma'am and a team of panelists from class 8 to enlighten us. Over to Rashima ma'am.
Greetings. Myself, Rashima Buddhiraja from Kulachi Hansraj Model School. In its 50th year, Kulachi presents EdTalk, a panel discussion on clean water and sanitation. Let us seek the blessings of the Almighty. Kulachi Hansraj Model School welcomes you all to the EdTalk on clean water and sanitation. Today's EdTalk is dedicated to Sustainable Development Goal number 6, that is clean water and sanitation. It is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. The official wording is ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Do you know? Poor sanitation is linked to transmission of diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, hepatitis A, and typhoid. Poor water and sanitation is the leading cause of diarrhea, which is the second biggest cause of death among children under 5, killing 760,000 each year. As well as directly causing death, poor water and sanitation can severely erode health and well-being gains made by food and nutrition programs. Thus arises the need of SDG 6. SDG focuses on ensuring a clean and stable water supply and effective water sanitation for everyone by the year 2030. This goal is a reaction to the fact that many people throughout the world lack these basic services. About 40% of the world's population is affected by lack of water. Today, in our EdTalk, we have with us 4 panelists and a moderator, Hardika Agarwal, who is going to take us through the detailed discourse on clean water and sanitation, its needs, problems in achieving it, and how it can be achieved. So without further ado, let me hand over the dais to our moderator, Hardika.
Thank you, ma'am. Greetings to all. Today we all have gathered here to talk about SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. SDG 6 seeks to ensure safe drinking water and sanitation for all, focusing on the sustainable management of water resources, wastewater and ecosystems, and acknowledging the importance of an enabling environment. Through Goal 6, the countries of the world have resolved to achieve the universal access to safe drinking water and adequate sanitation as well as hygiene to all in next 15 years. To talk on SDG Goal 6, we have on our panel Adrit, Molly, Kanika and Kratin. Adrit is one of the panelists today with us who will throw light on the topic clean water. He will also be telling us about how water gets polluted. An interesting activity will be explained by him related to water purification. Molly will be sharing a very beautiful poem today, talking about water shortage and water purification at a large scale. Kanika will be discussing the 6-point action plan for cleaning river Yamuna adopted by Delhi government. Pratin will be sharing how our school is contributing towards clean water and sanitation. Water is a colorless and odorless substance that is essential for survival of living beings. This universal solvent is one of the major resources we have on this planet. Sanitation is a broad subject that refers to the provision of services and facilities for safe disposal of waste. This is achieved by maintaining high levels of hygiene through wastewater disposal and garbage collection. Now, Molly will be presiding over the session.
Thank you, Hardika, for giving me a platform to present my viewpoints on this topic. Let me start with an interesting poem. Early in the morning, before going to school, little John went to pee and poo. He flushed once, twice, thrice, and a fourth time. Papa Jack had to disapprove. Don't keep flushing, son. Once is enough. You do not waste good water ever. We are lucky to get water every day. Without it, there are millions who suffer. If it is good water, Daddy, why do I use it to flush my poo down the drain? Why don't we use dirty water instead, from puddles which form outside in the rain? I have no time to answer. You're getting late for school, John. Hurry, take your satchel and get going, else the bus will be gone. At night, when he went to bed, Jack's thoughts kept him awake for long. How come it never occurred to me? This question raised by little John. Water covers 70% of our planet, and it is easy to think that it will always be plentiful. However, fresh water, the stuff we drink, bathe in, irrigate our farm fields with, is incredibly rare. Only 3% of the world's water is fresh water, and 2/3 of that is tucked away in frozen glaciers or otherwise unavailable for our use. As a result, some 1.1 billion people worldwide lack access to water, and a total of 2.7 billion find water scarce for at least 1 month of the year. Inadequate sanitation is also a problem for 2.4 billion people. They're exposed to diseases such as cholera and typhoid fever and other waterborne illnesses. 2 million people, mostly children, die each year from diarrheal diseases alone. At the current consumption rate, this situation is only going to get worse. By 2025, 2/3 of the world's population may face water shortages, and ecosystems around the world will suffer even more.
You are very right, Molly. Water shortage as well as water pollution both are major threats to the world. Advit, can you tell us more about water pollution as mentioned by Molly?
Yes, Hardika. It need not be spelled out exactly how important water is. Yet, water pollution is one of the most serious ecological threats we face today. Water pollution happens when toxic substances enter water bodies such as lakes, rivers, oceans, and so on, getting dissolved in them, lying suspended in the water, or depositing on the bed. This degrades the quality of water. Water pollution can be caused in a number of ways. One of the most polluting being city sewage and industrial waste discharge. Indirect sources of water pollution include contaminants that enter the water supply from soils or groundwater systems and from the atmosphere by rainfall. Soils and groundwaters contain the residue of human agriculture practices and also improperly disposed of industrial waste. Not only does this spell disaster for aquatic ecosystems, the pollutants also seep through and reach the underground, which might end up in our households as contaminated water we use in our daily activities, including drinking.
Advit, do you have some solutions to tackle the problem you just elaborated on?
Yes, Hardika. Access to safe water is an absolute necessity for everyone around the world, and taking on this issue of ensuring access to safe water requires worldwide effort. As Molly told us, there is only 3% of pure water that is available readily to us, but still, we can't use that water without purifying it. For example, the groundwater is not safe, as many pollutants can leach into the underground aquifers. At home, we can clarify water for drinking easily with some simple methods like boiling, filtration, etc. Let me show you an interesting activity of purification of water. I have one glass of clean water and another glass of sand water. Now I add the alum kept on my right in the sand water. Now we stir it. After 5 minutes, we see that the sand has started settling at the bottom. After 15 minutes, we observe that a bit more thick layer of sand has formed. Finally, after 30 minutes, we see that sand has formed a layer at the bottom and the water is completely clarified. This shows that alum speeds up the process of sedimentation. This process of sedimentation is an important step in the working of wastewater treatment plants.
This was purification at home. But now, what about purification on a large scale? So, let me request Molly to explain how water purification can be done on a large scale.
Sure. Water treatment plants use a process to remove contaminants from water. This process includes methods like sedimentation, filtration, and chlorination. Firstly, water is added to the sedimentation tank through a pipe. The impurities have now got settled on the bottom of the tanker. Secondly, this water is transferred to the filtration tank containing layers of charcoal and sand for cleaning the small impurities. Then the water is cleaned. Lastly, this water is transferred to the chlorination tank, which is connected to the chlorine gas cylinder. Here, water is mixed with chlorine and then it is taken out. This clean water now can be used for daily purposes. Wastewater treatment plants also use a similar process to treat wastewater that discharges from our homes and convert it into effluent that can be returned back to the water cycle. Once this effluent is returned to the water cycle, it either creates an acceptable impact on the environment or is reused for various purposes. Developed countries like Australia, Namibia, and United Kingdoms are already using this water purification system, and it is also taking a steady pace in developed countries like India.
That was interesting. From this, I could recall that our one of the religious rivers, that is River Yamuna, is polluted, and hence there's a certain mission to purify it, again as earlier. I would like to invite Kanika at this moment to brief us about the 6 point action plan to clean River Yamuna.
Thank you, Hardika, for giving me this opportunity. Point action plan to clean River Yamuna by 2025. Because Yamuna River is covered with white toxic foam caused in part by pollutants discharged from industrial plants in New Delhi. The 1,376-kilometer Yamuna is one of the holiest rivers for Hindus, and it is also among the most polluted in the world. Days after Delhi's air quality deteriorated post Diwali, the Yamuna River in the national capital has been witnessing a thick layer of toxic foam. Delhi's water supply has also remained affected due to a rise in ammonia levels in the river. Now, in order to check pollution in the Yamuna River, the Delhi government will implement a 6 point action plan to clean the river, which is expected to be completed by February 2025. 6 point action plan, Delhi government said that first new sewer treatment plants are being built. Second, the capacity of existing plants is being increased. Third, the technology of old treatment plants is being changed. Fourth, waste from Juggi Jhopri clusters that goes into river will now be merged into sewers, and industries discharging industrial waste directly into the rivers will be shut down. Fifth, in some areas people have not taken sewer connections, so they have decided to install sewer connections in some area at nominal charges. And the sixth is desilting and rehabilitation of sewers.
Well, that is quite interesting indeed. Friends, let me tell you that our school, Kulachi Hansraj Model School, has left no stone unturned in achieving the goal of clean water and sanitation. Kratin, can you tell us about the efforts that our school is making to achieve this goal?
Thank you, Hardika. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pratin Sharma, and today I will be discussing how our school is playing its role to achieve SDG 6. Let me start with the innovation of the ATL lab, the river cleaning bicycle. Let's see the artistic creation of the ATL club. Cycle has a conveyor belt which cleans the lake by collecting the garbage strewn in the lake. The floating cycle is equipped with a propeller which can be directed by the handle. Our school also sticks to the method of rainwater harvesting. Each year, throughout the term of the rainy season, the school saves thousands of gallons of water that is used for a variety of purposes. Our school makes use of rooftop harvesting as a method of rainwater harvesting. It has numerous tanks where rainwater is accumulated and then is transported to the water purification system. Additionally, our school has a water purification system so that all the impurities in the rainwater that is harvested are then not available to ingest. This ensures that all the individuals drinking the water, meaning the staff, the teachers, and the students, are free from waterborne diseases. The use of the recent highly advanced technology is done in the water purification system so that majority of the impurities are separated from the harvested water. Our school also makes use of solar panels so that a supply of clean and eco-friendly source of energy is ensured. Above all, the school uses its own harvested energy and no electricity is wasted in the process. Some of the excess energy harvested from the panels can be used to power some regions of the building. Thank you.
Yes, Molly. Would you like to give in your inputs here?
Sure, Hardika. I would like to highlight the efforts of our country towards the achievement of SDG 6. Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has devised a plan to improve access to water for everyone by providing piped potable water to each rural household by the year 2024. In the year 2019, the Jal Jeevan Mission has served 20 million families with clean water. The private sectors are also finding a lasting solution to this crisis. The UN points to India's seminal mission, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, in addressing SDG 6 in India. This flagship program, launched on October 2nd, 2014,
Yes,
is aimed at promoting cleanliness and sanitation in a holistic manner. The program claims to have built over 100 million household toilets and to have created over 700 open defecation-free districts across India.
That's commendable. Pratin, can you give us an idea of how water is being conserved globally?
Yes, Hardika. Modification of shower heads is underway worldwide not only to conserve water, but also to make them attractive. Installation of water-saving faucets and toilets is also being done. These faucets conserve 700 gallons of water annually in a household, while water-saving toilets cut down 54% of water that is currently used in modern toilets.
Kanika would like to add something to this. Kanika, go ahead.
Yes, Hardika, sure. I have seen that encouraging the use of dry shampoo worldwide is impacting the water consumption greatly, even though it's not widely used. Also, alteration of agricultural practices also helps to conserve water globally. Worldwide, 69% of the water consumption is contributed to and by all types of agriculture. To counteract this problem, USA and China are donating financial funds to improve farming techniques and reduce the usage of potable or filtered water. Also, water consumption should be reduced. The industry uses about one-fifth of the total freshwater resources available on the Earth's surface. This water consumption can be reduced by transporting recycled water to the industries and making them drink about their products' water requirements. Ailing again water equipment also wastes water. Worldwide, 8 trillion liters of water is lost due to aging water infrastructure and leaking pipes. To counteract this problem, Singapore is using acoustic technology to detect water leaks across the city, while in Los Angeles, robots are being trained by corporate companies to detect water leaks across the state.
Thank you, panelists, for an enlightening talk on SDG 6. Friends, with today's panel discussion, we have realized the importance of achieving SDG number 6. Having clean water and sanitation means being able to avoid exposure to countless diseases. Clean water changes almost everything. This is why access to and management of clean water, sanitation, as well as hygiene are included in the Sustainable Development Goals. Molly, one concluding line from your side?
Sure. I would like to say that we as human beings should join hands to preserve this precious and indispensable resource. We should start preserving clean water for our forthcoming generations for their good.
Adrit, what is your possible conclusion for the same?
Yes, Hardika. I would like to say that water is a finite and irreplaceable resource that is fundamental to human well-being. It is renewable only if managed. Hence, it is our responsibility to save it for the sake of future generations.
Kanika, can you conclude the plan in a line?
Sure. I would like to tell that our government is doing so much to save and protect our environment. So we, as the true citizens of India, it's our duty to help them and keep cleanliness everywhere. As it's well said, that water is a gift from the Almighty, so protect it and respect it.
Pratin, I would request you to tell me the final conclusion drawn from your part.
Yes, Hadika. My concluding line is we ought to save every drop of water for posterity. Currently, the least we can contribute is switching to water saving and smart water appliances. Plus, switching to a vegetarian diet would cut down water consumption by agriculture. And if we educate the demographic about scarcity of water today, they might try to save water tomorrow. Thank you.
Let me end the talk on a thoughtful note. Clean water is the most efficient way to change the world. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I would also like to conclude the talk by expressing gratitude towards our principal ma'am for her unstinted support. Her able guidance has always encouraged us. I am also grateful to my colleagues and children for the successful conduct of the talk. As we all know, no one can live without water, and this is the first need of every living being. So we should understand the need and the importance of water in our lives. I'm sure with today's talk, we have been able to achieve our motive of raising awareness of inadequate access to clean water and sanitation, and the need of accomplishing Sustainable Development Goal number 6. Therefore, improve your water, improve your life.